Kick-ass facts, but pew pew pew! An ancient Russian way of keeping milk from going sour was to put a frog in a bucket of milk, using that as a jumping off point, leapfrogging, you might say. Scientists have identified antibiotic substances on the skin of the Russian brown frog. Amphibians secrete antimicrobial substances called peptides through their skin, which act as the first line of defense against bacteria and microorganisms. A previous study identified on the skin of the Russian brown frog 21 substances with antibiotic and other potential medical activity. They used a sensitive laboratory technique to expand the list of substances, and they identified 76 additional ones. Some of them performed just as well as prescription antibiotic medicines against Salmonella and Staphylococcus bacteria. The scientists concluded these peptides could be potentially useful for the prevention of both pathogenic and antibiotic-resistant bacteria strains, while their action may also explain the traditional experience of rural populations. Sundoku, I hope, is a Japanese word for the habit of buying too many books, letting them pile up in your house, and never reading them. Gaming-related accidents increased 26.5% during the first 5 months of Pokemon Go being released. This included 2 deaths and $25.5 million in damages. Do you find yourself getting tired in the middle of the afternoon? Are you lying in bed at night, wide awake? There could be a solution. Humans have evolved over millennia to be active during the day and rest at night. We've depended on the sun to regulate our sleep-wake cycle, but many people today spend most of their time indoors, sheltered away from the sun, so it's harder for them to maintain the optimal 24-hour circadian rhythm. Exposure to artificial light can worsen this problem because it can decrease the secretion of melatonin. Nighttime exposure to blue light, specifically the type of light that comes from lamps, computers, TVs, phones, and other handheld electronics, is notorious for interfering with melatonin production and therefore sleep. But here's the good news. Researchers report that they have designed more human-centric LEDs that could potentially enhance drowsiness or alertness on command. Blue light ranges in wavelength from 380 to 500 nanometers. The wavelengths that suppress melatonin production and cause wakefulness are in the range of 460 to 500. So the researchers designed 2 LEDs that emitted different wavelengths of blue light. One LED intended for daytime use restricted its blue emissions to wavelengths closer to 475. The other LED for evening use emitted blue wavelengths near 450, outside the range that disturbs sleep. Did they test it? Yeah, you bet your ass they did. Saliva samples from 22 volunteers showed that using the new LEDs increased the participants' nighttime melatonin levels by 12.2%. They'll go sleepy buys, and reduced daytime melatonin by 21.9%. They'll stay awake, compared to consistent conventional LED exposure. The researchers hope that manufacturers of LED and electronic displays can apply these findings to help people increase their daytime vitality and to work efficiently while improving nighttime relaxation and sleep quality. The word velociraptor comes from the Latin words velox, meaning swift, and raptor, meaning robber, literally speedy robber. Velocipastor, on the other hand, is a terrible 2018 movie in which a priest travels to China and then inherits a mysterious ability that allows him to turn himself into a dinosaur.